Ladies and gentlemen, you join me on a slightly different episode, I guess. I spent a bit of time wrestling over whether or not to do this, so I decided, you know what, I am going to. This is in no way a complaint. Actually, I'll tell you back, there is one complaint. There's one little moaning section, but don't worry. It's a kind of explanation video. There are going to be some truths, some things that people probably don't want to hear, but it's just the way things are. I'm not trying to cause controversy between PC gamers, PC players, console gamers. That's not the point of this. The point of this is about just discussion. This is my opinion and the opinions of some people I've spoken to since Tuesday the 25th. On Tuesday the 25th, when all the information dropped regarding Farming Simulator 25, the cinematic trailer, the visuals, all the different stuff we've got, I've had people messaging me all over the place about all different things they want to see, things they think are great, things they're not happy about, and that kind of thing. And whilst we do know a lot of information, we don't know all the information at the moment. And I thought, well, I'll just talk about it. We'll discuss a few things, and from the console gamer's perspective. Now, I know there'll be people that straight away will say, you should play on PC. And I'm back to the same argument I have every single time I do a video like this, or a video where I talk about this sort of thing. Way back when FS15 came out, Giants decided to go cross-platform. And it came out on PlayStation, and, you know, at that point, it ceased to be a PC game only. It became a multi-platform game. And I don't disagree that on PC you can probably have a much better experience because there are so many more mods available. Now, that's also back in the days when there weren't many mods about. Now, there are a lot of mods. There's a lot of stuff about. The game is mod-friendly. FS25 will be mod-friendly. It talks about the Giants Game Engine 10 and it being mod-friendly, modder-friendly. We have a lot. We have a lot of maps, a lot of more. We have a ton of stuff. Yes, there are some things that console gamers want to see. And it's interesting to see a few comments I've been reading and messages people have been sending me where people are talking about you can't have scripts on console. You can have scripts on console, but they have to be put into the base game. They have to be scripted into the base game coding at Giants. When Giants do it, and it's in the base game coding, then certain things can operate. You can't have third-party scripts is the thing. So, I mean, like I say, so I'm just kind of explaining a little bit about what this is going to be about. Now, I'm also going to throw in at this point that this evening at 8 PM UK time, I have been invited to take part in, join the Farm Sim Guy and Argsy Gaming on their podcast From the Field. Again, talking about Farming Simulator 25. They're going to be, we will be discussing a whole load of stuff. And they wanted to get me on board as well to talk about the console gamer's perspective on it all. So some of the things I'm going to say in here I might talk about on there. We might not get round to some of this stuff. But if you fancy joining us on the podcast at 8 PM this evening, so at the time of recording this, it is Thursday the 27th. Happy birthday to Celia EG, my youngest daughter, is 21 today. Happy birthday to you. So if you want to join us, that would be absolutely fantastic. So let's crack on with things I wanted to talk about. So, the game generally. The things we're going to be getting in-game, I think personally look absolutely fantastic. There are always going to be naysayers. There are people that are already saying it looks rubbish and it's worse graphics than the previous version. That happens every single iteration from 15 to 17, 17 to 19, 19 to 22, 22 to 25. People will always say the graphics are worse than they were in the previous game. The game looks worse, it looks rubbish. We have, to be fair, seen a cinematic trailer which won't be in-game footage. We've seen some adjusted, touched up, whatever it might be, thumbnails, screenshots to pass on some information, show us some stuff. It's not the full game, it's not the full game physics, it's not that kind of thing. So the thing we've got to talk about at this point, and this is one of those kind of truths moments, is a lot of people messaging me regarding the fact that Farming Simulator 25 will not be available on PS4 and the older gen consoles. It's a very difficult one to tackle because everyone has different situations and different ways their life is and finances and that kind of thing. But what you have to think about and consider, I recall going from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, when you didn't have digital downloads, you didn't have all this online stuff, and you had a selection of hard copy games. You might have a full library of games. The new version of the game came out, or the new platform came out. Those games then became redundant. Once you bought the new console, they weren't backwards compatible. Then you got into an era and area where, I think around COVID as well, when it went to PS5, things remained backwards compatible because you couldn't get hold of a PlayStation 5 for love nor money. If you could, they cost an absolute fortune. So for quite a long time, and I would consider to be a grace period on console, Farming Simulator especially, has maintained that older gen, newer gen console. But you've got to remember, PS5's been out for knocking on 5 years now. They reckon potentially another couple of years and the next generation will come out. So as far as Giants are concerned, as far as the game progressing and moving forward with enhanced graphics, with potentially we don't know what we're going to be getting. Some people do, and I have also been told that what we've seen on the FS25 release information is scratching the surface of what we're going to be getting. And hard as it is to hear, the older gen consoles were holding all of that back. Because they need to put, and they're going to be pushing the limits of what the newer gen, I say newer in inverted commas, newer gen consoles are capable of. They're going to be pushing them to their limits. But that's the way it's got to go. I had a conversation today with somebody regarding the very same thing online, and they got quite cross, and they were saying, I'm not going to play the game anymore. That's me done with Farming Simulator. I'm not going to buy a new console. But again, when I talk about that grace period and the platform being out for nearly 5 years now, even if you'd saved a small amount of money every month, at this point, you would be in a position to possibly buy one. I know it's that YouTuber thing, but my recent PlayStation 5, I've done on monthly instalments. I couldn't afford to do it in one hit. It was a lot of money, big chunk of change. You also have to understand, and you must have known in the back of your minds, anybody watching this console related, must have realised that at some point it would become obsolete. At some point the PS4 and the older gen Xboxes weren't going to be able to run the new games. It was going to happen. Unfortunately, burying your head in the sand and saying, well, that's it, I'm not playing anymore on the new games, your console is obsolete. And like I say, go back to PS1 to PS2, 2 to 3, that was it. And the problem I always had was, at that point when the newer one was out and you then had to rebuild your library again with all the new versions of the games that were coming out, no one wanted to buy the older ones. You couldn't get rid of them because they were old. No one wanted them. So, yes, I know, unfortunately it is going to be the newer gen consoles only. PS5, Xbox S, X. That's right, isn't it? That is the truth. That is the thing that I wanted to express. And I know people will be cross. And like I say, I'm not talking about people's finances. And people say, it's all right for you, you're a YouTuber. Not the case. And the new version of the game I have just pre-ordered myself. Because on console, I don't get an early copy. I don't get a free copy. They may send out digital copies. They may send out early access on PC. But on console, I don't get that. I might get early access this time round. I don't know. We will see. Potentially. I've still bought my own copy. I've still gone out and purchased it. So, on to that. A lot of people were saying at the time of doing all the release videos regarding FS25 and all the stuff that was coming out, a lot of people said, we can't find it. We can't pre-order it. It's not on console. At the time of all the information releasing, it wasn't. That being said, it is now available on the PlayStation Store and I think on the Microsoft Store as well. You can also pick it up through Giants. If you go onto the website, there's the link in there. You can get it on Steam. You can get it on Epic Game Store. The prices are all roughly the same. I will say that at this point. I say roughly. There are some discrepancies here and there. And they're a little bit cheaper. I'm going to say this. You can buy just the game. And if you pre-order, you get the Macdon and you get the gold New Holland. And then there's that with the year one bundle. And the year one bundle is the one that gives you the year one season pass with the 3 DLCs and then the new expansion, which will be obviously over a year away now, but you can buy that pack. The prices are ranging anywhere between, on Epic Game Store for PC, it's $39.69. These prices may vary over time as well. For just the base game, it's $63.99 if you're going to buy the year one bundle. On Steam, it was $41.99 and $67.99. On the Farming Simulator website, it's $49.99, but this is in euros, the Farming Simulator website one, and $79.99, so that would be more equitable. Xbox, it was $47.99 and $75.99, and I paid, I think it was $74.99 for the year one bundle. $49.99 was what they were charging. Now, like I say, those prices may fluctuate, and it may depend on when you go on to do it, if you're going to do it, or you might just wait till it releases, and that's absolutely fine. However you want to go about doing it, and again, that's a big chunk of money. I got some vouchers for my birthday last year, and I have sat on them because I knew I was going to need them. I knew the game would come out, and I knew it would be quite expensive. So you might just want to pick up the game and then think about, okay, do I now get the season pass later on? Do I just buy the DLCs individually? How you go about that also is entirely up to you. So, like I say, as far as that goes, prices are pretty equitable across the whole range, PC, Xbox, and depending where you're buying them from. Now, what I will say is this. I don't know how it is on Xbox. On PlayStation 5, if you go in and you type in Farming Simulator 25, it only comes up with, on the search, the standard, or it did for me initially, only came up with the standard version of the game. It didn't come up with the other option to buy the year one bundle. If you go down in the menu on PlayStation 5 to the pre-orders section, and it won't be in the initial roll of pre-order games, it goes to the end and it's so view all. If you then scroll through the view all menu, and there are quite a lot of them, when I first did it, the Farming Simulator 25 games were down the bottom, but I think they're mixed in now. If you go into that menu, and then it will come up with the Farming Simulator 25 standard version and the Farming Simulator 25 year one bundle option in there. So if you're having trouble finding it, because it's not just in, obviously you've got games that are going to be, they're on pre-order, that are going to release long before that comes out. So they're a priority. And also it depends on, not the quality of the game, that's the wrong way of putting it, what the hype is behind the game. Things like Call of Duty 6, they're up there as in that first band of pre-order titles, so you may have to search a little bit to find it. Again, I'm not sure about Xbox, how easy it is to locate them, but as far as it goes on PlayStation 5, that's what you're going to have to do to have a look. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how do I tackle this without getting shot down in flames? The Farming Simulator 25 Collector's Edition. And that's what I put on the thumbnail and put in the title as well. How do you feel? And this is all of this. How do you feel? You know, I personally think it looks fantastic. I think that, the graphics engine's been upgraded. It's going to look awesome. It's going to be amazing. And I'm curious and interested to see what, upon release, is it going to release without problems? Probably not. I don't know a game in the last 5 years that hasn't. We will see. But regarding the Collector's Edition, I have been saying this since, blimey, was FS17 came out? Might have been FS17. But anyway, the Collector's Editions that come out are PC only. Have always been PC only, and I've always argued why. There are plenty of games that come out that have collector's editions, and you can get a PC version, a console version, whether it be PlayStation or Xbox, and you get all the same stuff in. It's just the hard copy that is slid inside it is either the PC version or a console version. You will be able to pick up hard copies of the game on console. There will be versions of it you can pick up. And if I'm right with what they were showing, you might also get, like I think they did with FS22, different cover options. So you might be might be a specific cover you're looking to get. I'm not going to lie. I'm annoyed. This is my complaint. So this is my complaint. Why is there never and not ever been, and it doesn't look like there's going to be, a console collector's edition? Because at the end of the day, the console, the collector's edition isn't cheap. I think it's $69.99, I want to say. And you get the collector's box, and you get the PC game, which obviously, if it was a console version, you get the console game. There's a retro edition on there, which again, that could be a PC version. So if you had a PC, you could play it on the PC if you wanted to. And you might have a digital download on there. So you could have the console version with a PC digital download in there. Modding tutorials, brand stickers, the keychain, there's posters, there's the gold edition that you can download, there's a USB ignition lock. All of that stuff could be in there, but just with a console version, and I don't know why. I can't. You know, one I've asked before in previous years, I've been told it's about distribution, it's about this, it's about that. Now, you won't get your collector's edition until the time of release. I know some companies, I know Amazon's one of the few places at the moment you can get it anyway. And that's the other thing I was going to mention on here, that you won't get it until release, but I think some places sent it out a few days early last time. And I know it may well be Sony, it may be Microsoft that are holding that back, but you won't be able to use it. You won't be able to play it until release. And if they're not dispatched until the day of release and you receive it on the day of release, I don't see how that matters. The problem is you've got a lot of console gamers, myself included, on FS22. I purchased a collector's edition because I wanted all the cool stuff that came with it. The game in there I couldn't do anything with. I mean, I could have played it on PC if I wanted to, but I'm a console gamer. I know it's a well, people say, oh, what are you complaining about? Just buy it. But I just can't see why it can't be done. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's my gripe. That's my complaint. The rest of it is all just passing on information. Now, also regarding that, the collector's edition. I've read a few posts over the last few days. I've had a lot of people messaging me saying that they're trying to pre-order and they can't pre-order in the country they're in at the moment. I don't know why that's happening. In the UK, I was able to. So they will roll it out. I assume it's going to happen. As it stood today, the 27th, the only place you could get the collector's edition was on German Amazon. You could go onto Amazon, you could get the German version. UK Amazon, it's not there. It's saying unavailable, and it says it doesn't know when it's going to be coming in. I'm assuming they'll start getting them. It will start rolling out, because people were saying to me, how can I get a collector's edition? Well, as it stands, and again, you might be watching this a week down the line, 2 weeks down the line, or tomorrow. That could all change in the next few hours, but as it stands at the moment, the only place you can get it is German Amazon, which, again, it seems a bit weird. Why, if you're rolling this out and you want people to pre-order and you want people to have collector's editions and all that kind of thing, get it out there. People want it, you know. And then here's the final thing, I suppose, is if you do want to, if you're watching this and you're a PC gamer, if you're a console gamer and you're frustrated and you want to move to PC, I get it. I really, really do. I totally understand. If you are going to buy it on PC, I've never used them before. I am part of the Giants Partner Program. Every Giants Partner that sells products, and they, you know, if you use their code, they work their way up from bronze to silver to gold in the Partner Program. I have stayed at bronze for the last however many years, because on console, I don't have a code for console. The codes I've got are for PC. So someone said to me, yeah, but you've got PC guys watching, you probably should put it out there, you should use it. So in the description, there are 2 links that will take you to buy it if you're buying it on PC. At checkout, depending on which one you use, if you use the code MrSealyp, all capital letters, it's all in the description. It will help the channel out. It will help me in the partner program thing. All that means is if you move up through the partner program as well, you get a little bit more early access when DLCs and things like that come out. Admittedly, it still comes out on PC, which doesn't help me a great deal. But if I can help any of you out, if you're out there and you're saying, well, actually, you know what, I'm going to buy it anyway, it'd be fantastic if you used the partner code. And that's the frustrating thing is I'm talking about this from a console gamer's perspective, but I'm having to roll to the PC side of things just for those sort of things to work. Unfortunately, it's the way it's set up. It is the way it is. And like I said, I don't want people to come away from this thinking, oh, he's moaning and I'm not moaning and griping. I'm putting the information out there. I'm talking to you about the game. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be awesome on console. I must admit, I'm not overly, you know, I've never been a person, I must have GPS, I must have follow me, I must have, I've never really been bothered by any of that. I know some people are, and there are some mods that come out and people want auto load login trailers on console, and you know, I've lived without it. I can live without it. I do live without it. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, in all honesty. So as far as staying on console, absolutely I'm staying on console. I'm going to continue to put out console content because that's what I do. That's who I am. And probably always will do. My few forays into PC didn't go well. People didn't like it because I'm the console guy, you know. But anyway, all of that being said, those are the things I wanted to talk about, the things I wanted to discuss. I don't want there to be any animosity. I want any discussion, any conversation, any comment, any response to be civil. I want it to be a discussion. I want it to be, you know, helpful, unifying if possible. Talk about ways, how can we deal with these things? How can we possibly get onto Giants and say, look, we really, as console gamers, we really want a special edition. We want a collector's edition. Not people just being angry saying, whoa, you know, I'm shaking my pitchfork and, you know. Anyway, I hope you found this useful and informative. If you have, even if you haven't, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.